Alright, let's do this the right way, shall we? I'll just go into the intro now. So, hello everybody, I'm Mark from the Rain City Gamers. Thank you so much for watching. This is another episode of our video streaming series, The First Date. Today I'm going to be playing What Remains of Edith Finch on the PC. So, heard great things about this game. I honestly don't have any clue what this is about other than that it's like a walking simulator type thing. So let's dive in, and please hop in the chat with me. If you're watching on YouTube, really appreciate you stopping by the channel. And yeah, appreciate you watching all of our content. Let's do this. We'll start from scratch. And as always, cheers. Mic check, mic check. There we go. Mic check, we'll do it again one more time. Perfect. You're good. Alright. So we'll just do the intro from here. So hello, I'm Mark from the Rain City Gamers. Thank you so much for watching today. And right now we're doing another one of our editions of the Rain City Gamers First Date. So this is a streaming series that we do. Play the first game for the very first time. We stream it. And you guys get to enjoy it and watch it. Maybe even pick up the game. Appreciate you watching today. If you're on the YouTube channel, thank you so much for stopping by and enjoying our content. And if you're watching live, please hop in the chat with me. We're going to go ahead and dive in here to What Remains of Edith Finch. Heard really good things about it, but honestly know nothing about this game other than I believe it's like a walking simulator type thing. So here we go. Let's dive in.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Oops. Alright, so that brings that up.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
How do I turn here? Right, hang on, we're gonna... Gotta adjust my controls here, I'm not even sure. Interesting. Sorry about this, hang on one second. great stream, right? Just sitting there staring at the menu. For some reason, the controller binding that they have by default doesn't actually control the mouse look with my right stick for some reason. So I gotta adjust this really quick. There we go. Okay. That makes a little more sense.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Controls are really weird. I can't, it's so weird, I can't look up or down.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
It's odd. There we go. Okay, we're good.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Has she been gone for 6 years? She said that when she was 11. She's coming back when she's 17.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
What do we got here?
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Gotcha. So her grandma is Edith Finch. Interesting. All right. That's cool. You can look down and see your, like you're actually the person. Game looks really good. I know that. I guess we'll go upstairs. Oh, she's got one of those little, these chairs like on Gremlins. That's amazing.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Weird. Oh, Jesus.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
This is crazy. It's a pretty kick-ass paint job, I will say. It's a little weird for an uncle, but...
Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Let's see if the key fits. Oh, winner.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Creepy.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Crazy.
I kept eating and eating.
She's eating toothpaste?
I ate a lot of things that night.
I'm guessing those aren't good for her.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired.
Where's the bird?
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
Oh no.
Suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
What the fuck?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Oh, there's one right there. Go get it. God, I can't. It's really hard to aim this because it's like inverted or some weird.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Okay. Where'd it go? There he is.
I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Am I like an octopus or something?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
The toilet. She's gonna be sleeping.
I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
Okay. Crazy.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
I heard a cat. I don't know where I go, out the window? Looks like it.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Interesting.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Look at all the book names and stuff. Really cool. Weird though. Bird cages with like nothing in them. Built in 1937.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Ah, good to know.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Ha! Look at this bathroom.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
Ooh, another key. There we go. What adventure does this book have for me?
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh, interesting.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Sven is the grandpa, I think. to try to keep track of all these people, which I'm usually not that great at.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
This would be the perfect VR game. It's too bad this isn't a VR game, because I think it would be cash. That's really cool. He's got like a little jungle gym in his room. He's badass.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Oh,
Maybe
shit.
if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Oh.
That's the day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
That was cool.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Oh, Jack here. with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. That's how I get downstairs.
Later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
I'm actually playing this, by the way. This is awesome.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
I like the, is this Halloween, by the way?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
I don't know what to do here.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, You're dead, Walter.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And young he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara. There's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call
Weird.
a real eerie tale.
It's like Tales from the Crypt right there.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
This game is really cool so far. I mean, I went into it with no expectations because I had no clue what to expect other than it being like a walking simulator type game, and then everybody said it was really good. So far it's delivered. Really, really cool so far. All right, let's take a look at this room. Let's go back this way.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key. The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
So weird.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin. Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Now let's go try the music box. This is all starting to make a little more sense now. Downstairs we go.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Creepy.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Like a bunker of some sort. Oh, Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Peaches down the hatch.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
Wow.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
Jesus.
I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
March 20, 2005.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month.
This guy sat in a bunker for 30 years. That is crazy.
I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
That's a train.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
He had a fake picture of the outside. That is insane. Alright, going down.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Huh.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
See if I can go out in the water. No. So she's obviously writing a book to either her kid or somebody close to her.
Though to be
Relative
honest,
of some
I
sort.
feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Alright, up the stairs we go. I'm so intrigued by this game right now, like just by what's happening.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Oh, that was the gate closing. I was like, what is that
I think we've
sound?
been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Hey, what's up, Adrian? She's actually at work, so doing a little streaming. I'm playing What Remains of Edith Finch, and about an hour into it right now. It's really, really cool. So,
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
yeah, it's really
3 of the
interesting so
gerbils are
far.
mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Derpy Jr., Derpy, Burpy, Chirpy, Furpy, Lurpy, and Zerpy. That's funny. Good old Bailey. There's always a Bailey in the group.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Ooh, large spiders. That is no bueno, man. I'm not a big spider fan. I'd probably be awake too.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Holy shit. Yeah, that would be a
The
big
east side is
nope
always
for
easier
me.
for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
Where do you live? Jeez.
Her dad had been
Like,
pretty strict, but it wasn't
sounds like
enough to
Australia
save
or
her
something
brothers.
crazy.
She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Oh, Toronto. Gotcha. Pretty much everybody in this Finch
There's so many
family ends
things
up
I
dead.
wish I could ask my
It's
mom
crazy.
now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ooh, she's pregnant. There's that answer. That explains the belly. Ah, okay. Really cool. Writing a book to her unborn child.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. That'll do it. Brutal. They're pretty hot, I'm guessing?
They were both pretty intense.
Let's check out Sam's book here. Let's check out Sam's book. Yeah, warmer than you like. I'm in Arizona, so I just have to take the heat and deal with it for a few months.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? What? Am I gonna have to shoot?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Is peeing?
Should not have drunk. Hey!
That's a keeper.
It's funny.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Oh yeah,
Last
you're
time I was
right.
with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
Yeah, we keep it around 80. It's like 79 to 80 degrees in the summertime, and then obviously in the winter we either don't have it on at all, or we keep it around that. Ooh, there we go.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad,
Let me get behind you.
do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad!
Oh! Shit. That explains how he died. Oh, it's crazy.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
It was going to be dinner, but decided not to be. Made him dinner. Or at least dinner for the worms.
After Sid died,
oh
my mom and Edie
dear.
got really close.
That's funny.
They'd both lost a lot.
It's kind of creepy.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest
the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh my god, I couldn't even imagine. Couldn't even imagine. Whew.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Yeah. Ooh, that's brutal.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Jesus. Died on the beach?
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Yeah, struck by lightning or tornadoes, my guess. Got about half the family figured out here. Keep hearing. I hear stuff. I don't know if I'm supposed to be like other people or... Dawn. Let me just check. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I went over here because I didn't notice this. Climbing? Yeah.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
She's pregnant too
At the
during
time,
this 22
it was
weeks.
as far away as she could get.
Good for her.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
There's just like so much depth and detail into these rooms, and
My mom moved to India a week after
like
graduation.
oozes with
and got a job
atmosphere. It's
teaching
really, really
English.
cool.
Lewis was born a year later.
Yeah, it was a rock wall leading to the loft, yes.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again.
Alright, so her dad's dead. Her mom came back to live with her grandma. Edie's the grandma. and is the one who owns the house.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
The grandpa built all the additions to the house, or most of them.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Sorry, I'm just trying to talk my way through this because I want to make sure I kind of piece it all together. Homeschooled, it looks like.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Yeah, that is frustrating if you have to pee. You're gonna be in shape at least, right? Or have a wet bed, one of the two. Milton. Oh, is he still
After
in
Milton
there?
disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Interesting. He doesn't have a year of death.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
There's the house. Yeah, I'm guessing possibly they didn't have a year for his death, so there's a chance of that. Maybe we'll find out here shortly. Going up. No, I'm assuming we'll find out here. Alright, here we go.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
That is really cool. So I had to hit the trigger to do that. How come it's not? There we go. Oh, there we go.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Almost got everybody figured out here. Yeah, flipbook inside of a flipbook. Yeah, there's just so much detail in this, you know? Like, there's just so much personality and it just looks lived in. Really, really cool. I just wanted to kind of stop and appreciate all this. Alright, we're gonna go back down.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Oh, that's her brother, okay. So this was the door he was painting in that flip book.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Look at the ceiling. What did I miss in the ceiling? Yeah, look, so there's yellow footprints into the door and out of the door. Let me go back up and look. Oh, yeah, yeah. That is really, really cool. going back down. See what else is up here.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself.
Look at this add-on. Like, what is even happening up here?
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room.
22?
Except Louis.
Yeah, 22 years old. Let's take a look here. Well, that's not the way. Huh. You know, I never did play PT. This is what sucks, is I downloaded it, and then I never played it, and I thought I had it the whole time, and then I went to go play it and realized I didn't have it, and then obviously at that point it wasn't available. So I'm a little bummed by that because I never played it. I did watch people play it. I did play through Resident Evil 7 in VR though, which was absolutely incredible. But yeah, PT, I would have tried it and I probably would have hated myself and I would have streamed it for everybody to laugh at me. But I do have actually on my YouTube channel, I've got me playing most of Resident Evil 7 in VR, and that is an experience. Really, really cool.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Such a cool like color palette here. Look at that black light. That's really cool how they did that. I like how it reflects off of this. Look at that. That is so cool. Nice. It's got a gaming system. That's what I'm talking about. The Wonderland Turbo. There's his book. I need that headset.
Louis and I spend a lot of time
playing
games together, but he was surprised.
Oh, never mind. Rain City Gamers. You see it there, bottom right. That's my website and everything. So it's Rain City Gamers YouTube. I got all my videos and first dates, all my streaming. Most of the stuff. Edith Finch.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh, I gotta throw it now. Okay.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
wander.
Wander.
Oh, I see. Oh my god, look at this. I'm like controlling this guy in this map.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
Why do I feel like he's gonna cut his hand off?
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. and toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
This is really cool.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery, I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis.
Yeah, maybe he does put his head
So
in
I
it.
let him go on. I even encouraged him.
Yeah, see, he's gonna slowly take over the screen here, and I'm probably gonna...
It seemed very promising.
I feel like I'm gonna cut my hand off or my arm off or something.
He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Look at this.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
What's crazy is, so I moved the hand with my right stick on the controller, and I moved the guy with the left stick.
Then one
So
day it struck him.
It's like split my brain in half,
All
basically.
the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
So it's just such a really
So he
cool,
could
like,
do whatever he wished.
way to have the person playing, you know, like,
He held an election
get so
for
focused on that and then lose focus on the other thing. Get distracted.
21. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
Yeah.
Started drifting away from our reality.
Yeah, my focus is getting larger on his imagination and less on the
Minneapolis.
real world, you know?
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Oh, I could pick what was going to happen there. That's kind of cool. I didn't realize that.
The queen was on her own quest for
Sinister serpents. Let's do it.
sinister serpents. followed the sound of her
electric guitar, obviously. Or electric sitar, even
electric
better.
sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Yeah, see, look. Can't see now.
He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
I'm just waiting for this moment.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
Yeah.
It was hard to argue with him.
Alright, so I'm in the cannery now. Yeah, look at that.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, Finch. This is him right here. Look at that, he's just not even doing anything. How do I... Do I go up that way?
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
I never played that game because of that very reason, because I knew that I would just get sucked
Palace
into it.
would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
Giant cat.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
This looks really cool.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Uh-oh, you're right. You're 100% correct here. Oh, wow.
Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Yep, you're correct. That is just crazy.
My
Lewis.
brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Yeah, you were all over that one from the get-go. I thought he was going to cut off his hand and like bleed out. That was much more of a going out with a bang sequence than my idea. Sad though. All right, so only Eddie down there is the only one I haven't filled in. All right, let's go figure out what. Such a cool picture. That was such a cool sequence, you know? That whole thing.
On the way back from
The
Lewis's
build-up,
funeral, my mom
it was
told me to
timed
start packing.
perfectly. The pacing of
She
it was
waited until the
excellent.
day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Lewis Finch.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
I just love
What
how
happened that night had
photorealistic
been
everything
coming for
looks.
a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Well, let's find out what happens here. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this too. I'm glad you are too. I wasn't sure how it would be on the stream, but really cool. I mean, it's just like playing it,
The
really.
whole
You're
last
watching
day,
it.
Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Okay, so that's who I am right now, the little girl.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
The History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Hmm. Yep, nailed it. Nice work. So I'm gonna export this
It was the first and
stream.
last time I ever saw the old house aground.
I'm gonna export this stream to my YouTube page. So if you want to watch the first half of it, you can. You're more than welcome to.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
So, real quick, earlier in the game, like one of the first, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, there's a story of how the grandpa had, or the great-great-grandpa had, his house put on a boat, and he took the house to the Seattle area, to Orcas Island, but there was a huge storm, and it basically dumped the boat and the house, and this is the house, which I'm going to right now.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Follow the red light.
I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Yeah, you're probably correct.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Oh yeah, you're right. Which means maybe the tide's coming in.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
I'm doing that, by the way,
We
with this
both tried to
joystick.
make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Yeah.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
She must have had cancer or something.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
And she's pregnant.
Until I found out about you.
Huh. That's cool.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Was this the baby coming out, I bet?
This journal was supposed to be for you.
Huh. This has got to be the
Now I hope
baby
you'll never
getting
see
born?
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
She's gonna die during childbirth, watch.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, look at that. Wow. That was really, really cool. Wow. I wasn't expecting the game to be like this, and I'm very happy that I played this. Only 2 hours or so. It's just like watching a movie. Like, really cool. Very intriguing story, gripping. I was enthralled. Seemed like you were too, even though you came in halfway. Awesome. I have played Life is Strange, and it is awesome. I loved it. Yeah, I do too. They're nice. They're nice. I call these palate cleansers. You know, like I play a lot of games of shooting and violence and action and all that. And obviously, I play games like The Last of Us and a lot more story-driven games too. But these are nice. These little short, different experiences. Cleanse the palate a little bit. This was awesome. Very, very cool. I can understand all the praise that I've seen behind this game. And I think this actually helped me even more with the fact that I had no clue what this was other than it was just a walking simulator and that it was good. I had no idea what I was getting into. So, yeah, I think I'll have to get Panda to play this. I think she'll really, really like this. This is cool. I wonder if these are all just like baby photos of these people. I'm assuming it is. I'm kind of weird when it comes to this stuff. Like, I want to appreciate the devs, like I always try to watch credits just because I feel like it's kind of a tip of the cap to them. Limbo is awesome. I don't know if you've played Inside, but that's another very, very good game. I would highly recommend Inside if you haven't played it. If you like Limbo, then play Inside. Trick or treat, smell my feet. Just look at all the detail and all this stuff. It's just really cool. It just helps you get into the world, Yeah, Inside. You'll enjoy it, trust me. It's from the same developers that made Limbo. Yeah, the episode I think comes out next week or within the next couple of weeks. And there we go. Wow, loved it. I gotta say I loved it. Adrian, appreciate you watching. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you so much. This has been another Rain City Gamers first date. We actually played through the entire game in this one sitting, about 2 hours worth. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, really appreciate you stopping by the channel. And please come back again for more content. Take care, everybody.